Hi and welcome to my workshop. My name is Thomas and you're watching Casual DIY. You're probably here because you want to know how to make these awesome wooden ornaments. Well, in the right place. Stay tuned and watch the video. So what are we going to need for today's project? Absolutely basic stuff. And we're going to use some stencils that I've actually made, and they will be all available on my website for free. The link will be down below in the description of this video. So what woods are we going to be using? I've got some pallet wood, I've got some pine from an old shelf, I've got some thin 6mm plywood. So you know, the materials, they're cheap, they're cheaper, they're better for this project. And obviously the tools what we're going to be using, I've got my fret saw for about, I think I bought it on Amazon for about £5. So we're going to mainly be using this. But obviously if you got a scroll saw, if you got a bandsaw, or if you got a jigsaw, you can use that for this project. It will work absolutely fine. Okay then, so let's jump into the project. I've done a few stencils, they're all available on my website as I mentioned. I've got a deer, we've got the Christmas tree, and we've got some snowflakes and all that. As you can see, they actually are in this circle. And we're going to use the same stencils to do 3 different projects. Each project will be in a different video, so make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet, so you can see how you can use one stencil to produce 3 different projects. But let's carry on. So basically we need to transfer the stencil onto the piece of wood that we're going to be cutting out. You can just print it off, glue it onto the wood, and off you go. But for me personally, I absolutely hate removing the paper out of the wood later on. So what I'll use is a piece of carbon paper, and I'll just trace the design onto the wood. So let's do that now. And now I'll just carry on transferring the remaining stencils onto all the pieces of wood. We've got our patterns transferred onto the wood, and it's now to use the fret saw to cut it all out. So as you can see, a nice Christmas tree there out of plywood, using just a £5 fret saw. So it's more than doable. Obviously with thicker woods it will be a bit more difficult, and it is fairly time consuming. So if you're making just a few for yourself, perfect and simple project. But if you are lucky enough to have a scroll saw like me, we'll cut them out a lot quicker. Right then, so as you can see, we've got all the shapes cut out. They are ready for a bit of sanding, and obviously as you've seen, I've used a £5 fret saw to cut one or two. If you've got many to do, I would suggest starting in early February if you're preparing for Christmas, because it will take absolute ages. Hence I've moved on to my scroll saw to get the work flowing a bit quicker, but it's more than doable with cheap hand tools. But now let's get into the sanding. And now it's time to put some holes for the wires that we're going to use to hang these on our Christmas tree. So we've sorted more or less the shapes, we've sanded them, and they are basically ready to go. What I've done, I've put some strings through the holes, and some of them I will actually spray paint, some of them I'm just going to apply Danish oil. So it's really up to you how you're going to finish these off. As everything is now dry, it's time to add the final touch, which is a bit of a string, so we can actually hang these on our Christmas tree. So let's sort that out. And there you have it, guys. Quite an interesting and cool project. If you've got some scrap wood you want to use up for your Christmas wooden ornaments, I think it's quite a nice project you can actually do with your kids. Get them to do some manual work for a change instead of sitting in front of the telly or playing games. You know, if you've got a fret saw, you can make them with no problems whatsoever. Not too hard at all. Obviously a bit time consuming, but you know, if you've got a scroll saw, it's even much easier. And obviously if you want to download the stencils, they're all available on my website for free. Obviously I'll leave the link down below in the description of this video, as I mentioned before. So yeah, if you enjoyed this project, leave me that like button down below. I hope you did. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, as I do bring new content each week. And I hope to see you next week on my next woodworking adventure. Till then, take care.